Ivy and Bean Make the Rules. Written by Annie Barrows and illustrated by Sophie Blackall. Tappity tap tap. That night, Nancy talked about her routine. A lot. But what is it? Bean asked. You know, a dance to a song. Like a music video, said Nancy. Hello, I'm not allowed to watch music videos, said Bean. Nancy rolled her eyes. Okay, she said, I'll show you. She hopped up from her chair and twirled around. And then we go like this. She walked sideways, to the right, to the left. Then, watch this. She swung her hands up in the air and looked at them. That's the best part, she said. Bean wondered how that could be the best part. Is that it? She asked. Yeah, said Nancy. It was the most boring dance Bean had ever seen, but she didn't say that. Great, she said. That was really great. Thanks, said Nancy. Isn't the arm part good? Yeah, said Bean, trying to sound enthusiastic. Really good arm part. So, did you do anything else in camp today? Anything besides the routine? First, we had to decide what to wear for the routine. Bean stopped listening. Dance. She could do a dance, and her dance wouldn't be boring. Her dance would be good. She had everything she needed for a good dance, right in her basement. There were many interesting things in Bean's basement, and one of them was a metal wash tub. Bean's mom had bobbed for apples in it when she was a kid. It was big, but it wasn't so big that Bean couldn't carry it. And that was good, because the next morning, she carried it all the way to Monkey Park. Harlan and Franny were already there. What's that? Harlan yelled. Bean plunked down the tub. What are you doing here this early? Aunt Eartha kicked us out, said Harlan. Harlan told her about Komodo dragons, and she got all mad, said Franny. I think it was the poop, explained Harlan. Juanito poked his head out of the tent. Hi. Hey, what are you doing here? Asked Bean. Hiding from Coach, said Juanito. Are we going to do that dragon thing again? No, said Bean. Today is something different. We'll start as soon as Ivy gets here. Ivy came, and Leo too. Today, campers, said Bean, we will be learning to dance. Ew, said Leo. No way. I'm out of here, said Juanito. He started walking away. Bean held out her hand. Thumbtacks, please, Counselor Ivy. Leo and Juanito stopped walking. Thumbtacks? Now, first you have to have really thick-bottomed shoes. Bean checked her camper's shoes. Excellent. Second, you stick 6 thumbtacks in the bottom of each shoe. I will demonstrate. Bean felt just like her teacher, Ms. Arubitate, as she bent down and stuck 6 thumbtacks into the bottom of each shoe. And now we dance, she said. Harlan and Franny clapped. Leo and Juanito moved a little closer. Bean bowed and stepped onto the top of the tub. She tapped one foot, then the other. Good noise. She tappity-tapped. Tappity-tap. Tap, tap. A tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. The noise was nice and loud. Tappity, 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 a rap, tap, tap. The noise was astounding. Leo and Juanito came back. Isn't this great? Yelled Bean over her tapping. Let me try, Franny cried. She and Harlan put thumbtacks in their shoes and danced together on the tub, making a truly incredible amount of noise. Dogs barked, passing cars slowed. All the other camps stopped to watch. Pretty soon, Bean, Franny, Harlan, Leo, and Juanito were crammed onto the tub, dancing their hearts out. Ivy was trying to explain to their friend Sophie W. and a kid named Ella that they'd get their turn next. A counselor was trying to get Ella to come back to puppet fun. No one could hear a thing. Late in the afternoon, Bean lay in the grass in front of the tent. She was happy. Dance had been great. Well, dance had been great until Bean's mom came to the park and took the tub away. She said she could hear it all the way at Bean's house. "Don't you like the sound of dancing children?" asked Bean. "No," her mom had said. Juanito and Leo's coach made them go to soccer camp, but they'd come back later for strength training. Leo and Juanito knew all about strength training. You had to start easy. Camp Flaming Arrow had started with a grape. Picking up a grape is easy. After the grape, the campers went on to heavier things, like rocks and Harlan. Leo said he could pick up a car, but then he wouldn't show them, so no one believed him. Ella, who had tunneled out under the picnic table of puppet fun, said that she could pick up her dad, but no one believed her either. Sophie W. said if they all stuck 2 fingers under Ivy and thought about water, they'd be able to lift her. They did that until Harlan forgot to think about water and Ivy hurt her head. "Camp Flaming Arrow is getting big," said Ivy. She was lying on the grass too. "We've got 6 campers now." "That's because it's such a great camp," said Bean. Zombie problem in Monkey Park. On Thursday, Camp Flaming Arrow got even bigger. Dino from Pancake Court came with Sophie W. He was supposed to be an Animal Adventures camp, but Animal Adventures camp had turned out to be going to the zoo. He had already been to the zoo 3 times that week, and he was tired of it. "I don't want to do anything with animals," said Dino. "I don't even want to think about an animal." "You might have to think about Komodo dragons," called Juanito from inside the tent. He was hiding from his coach again. "They don't poop," yelled Harlan. "Enough chit-chat," said Bean, just like a real counselor. "No animals. Today we will be studying first aid." First aid was on the Girl Power Forever list. And here is Counselor Ivy to teach you important first aid tips. First aid was fun. Ivy had brought her face paint, and they used up almost all the red. Red was the blood. She had brought another old curtain cut up. Those were the bandages. All the campers needed lots of bandages. "I think he'd better take some CPR," said Bean the doctor. "His condition is serious." Harlan groaned. He was a very good groaner. 112/5 in the plexor carpaloo, said Franny. She gave Harlan a fake shot. He groaned. By the time Leo got away from soccer camp, they were all covered with fake blood and bandages. He told them about a kind of first aid called the Heimlich maneuver. When someone was choking, you pounded his stomach in just the right way, and whatever was choking him flew out of his mouth and landed across the room. That was fun. Disgusting, but fun. They played Heimlich maneuver for a long time, and then Dino had a great idea. Since they were already covered in fake blood, they could be zombies. They zombied around Monkey Park with their arms stretched out in front of them. By mistake, they zombied right through puppet fun. Now, boys and girls, we pull the yarn with our special needle very, very carefully through the paper, the counselor was saying. Moaned Bean the zombie. Hey, said the counselor. Oops, said Bean, unzombieing. Sorry. But it was too late. Most of the puppet fun campers turned into zombies on the spot. Now stop that, said the counselor. This is puppet fun. Sorry, said Bean. She backed toward Camp Flaming Arrow, but 3 new zombies ran after her. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Monkey Park had a real zombie problem. We haven't done Great Women of History, whispered Bean into the phone that night. She was reading the Girl Power Forever paper. Is that the only one we haven't done? Whispered Ivy, even though she didn't live with Nancy, so there was no reason for her to whisper. There's drama, but I think being zombies could count as drama, don't you? Bean said. And I still don't know what a social skill is. It's not in the dictionary, Ivy said. I looked it up. That leaves great women of history. What do you think it is? I have a book about great women of history, Ivy said. I'll bring it tomorrow. Mom! Hollered Nancy. Gotta go, whispered Bean. She stuffed the paper in her pocket just as Nancy thumped into the kitchen. What? Said Bean's mom, looking up from her book. Tell me the truth, said Nancy. Do I look okay? Sure, said Bean's mom. You look cute. You don't notice anything? Nancy asked. Bean's mom looked at Nancy carefully. No. Bean, Nancy asked, do you? You've got a wart on your knuckle, Bean said. Nancy shrieked. Oh no, it's totally ugly. I'm like diseased. Bean's mom quickly put her arms around Nancy. Honey, nobody's going to notice a tiny little wart. Bean noticed, Nancy moaned. You told me to look, said Bean. Sheesh. I can't get up and dance with a wart, wailed Nancy. Everyone will think I'm gross. She ran out of the kitchen. She was crying. Bean's mother sighed. She looked over at Bean, and then she followed Nancy. Bean watched her go, frowning. What was that all about?